dude in his room, yeah, he making stuff. Why you always making stuff? Yeah, hope we don't get copywritten. So I'm making lyrics off the top of my head. Look at his hat. This nigga look whack. Yeah, just kicking it. Just kicking it. Shh, we're in the library. This is just kicking it.
What's up, gangsters? Coming to you from the library. Which library? That doesn't matter. You don't need to know that. Mind your business. Today, if you couldn't really tell, we're talking about books, baby.
Everybody be quiet, everybody. Shh.
Yeah, I said it. We're talking about books, you know? Because they're like movies, but for the mind, you know? Like, you know how movies are like movies for your eyes? These are for your mind. It's funny because it all low-key kind of starts like, I guess my first book probably is like The Tale of Despero, you know? This is me with that book. It's pretty old, and it's so old that I don't have the fucking soft cover anymore, and it's kind of falling apart. I don't know what the fuck this thing is on the back of it, but I'm afraid to remove it, so we just keep it there, and it just sits there now. I think I read it in like 5th grade, around the same time that I was reading all the Harry Potter books, Animorph, and if you know Animorph, you know what I'm saying, nigga, you know that book is old as fuck. It's older than me, it's older than my mom, and probably older than time. Honestly, it might be in a race against the Bible. Fucking Series of Unfortunate Events, that was my jam, you feel me? It really, I guess, it's because my grandma was like, when she came over here, she became a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Immigrant became a teacher. Who would have guessed? You feel me? Like, literally, she was like the first celebrity I ever got to know because everybody in LaPorte just knew my grandma because she was a teacher and shit. And they'd be like, "Aren't you Miss Florence's grandson?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's me." But then it kind of sucked because I would start getting in trouble a lot. And then they'd be like, "I'm going to tell your grandma." And I'd be like, "Fuck, please don't tell my grandma." You know, like anybody but my grandma. And then she would find out, or she'd see me in lunch attention, and she would have the most disappointed look on her face, and it would break my heart every time. Like, there's this time that I like accidentally burnt like the last piece of pizza because I didn't know really how to work microwaves at the time. Oh no, I put it in the toaster oven, and she said put it on for 20. So I thought she meant 20 minutes, and I was like, it's kind of a long time, Grandma, but hey, you know more than me, you know? And I put it in there for 20 minutes. Of course, it got burnt, and then she was just like, "Oh, Lord, shit, I really wanted that, Dante." Like, and that shit just sent my little heart into a fucking frenzy, dude, and it fucking broke in a million pieces. It was like, I know she didn't like really mean anything by it, you know, like my grandma was just a super health nut, and so like, when she decided to actually eat some pizza, like, she was like, "I'm about to smash this shit," you know what I'm saying? And then here comes little old me, burning shit. Like, so yeah, I started like getting grounded a lot, you know what I mean? And that was even more of a reason to like dive into books. My aunt, I'll get back to that. My aunt also, she had a library in her house. Shouts out Auntie Agnes, you know what I'm saying? So that's like one of my many life goals is to have a library in my house, you know, because it was so sick. Like, she just had books of all kinds, you know what I mean? And like from Dr. Seuss to things with no pictures in them to things with just thesaurus of words, you know what I mean? Like, it was dope. That's also the first time I made a stink bomb. I'll talk about it another time. I probably not. Fuck it. But yeah, I was getting grounded a lot. And so it was like, well, I already like reading and I have all these books. So I started catching up on reading. And then I was like, oh shit, dog. I'm getting to like escape in my mind, you know? So I started to like read more books, and it was cool as fuck because, you know, hours fly by, you know what I mean? You're reading in the hallway, you're reading in your room, you're reading in the bathroom, you're reading at school, and nobody really bothers you because they're like, "Oh, this nigga's reading, nerd," you know? So it's like, cool. And then, and these aren't even plugged in, by the way. These are strictly for aesthetic. I'm a fraud. Library. Like, as I'm spending so much time at the library and stuff, that's where I started getting into like internet games, MMOs and stuff like that. You know, Guy Online, Sherwood. That's an old one, by the way. It probably doesn't exist anymore, and if it does, shouts out Sherwood. You know what I mean? RuneScape, nigga, stop playing with me. I'm on that shit. Joe Mama 183. I don't remember my password, but as soon as I remember my password, I'm logged in, baby. It probably doesn't even exist anymore. They probably had to fucking get rid of it or something. R.I.P. F's in the chat for Joe Mama 183. Moment of silence. All right. And yeah, so as I'm getting grounded, I'm just spending more time in there and just reading books, and that's what led me to manga, right? So now I find out my library also has manga, so I'm in there. I'm getting them religiously, not taking them back, owing fines for sure. Are you even a real reader if you don't owe fines? You know what I mean? Now I'm learning how to draw all these panels and everything. Now I'm drawing in my room. That's where I fall in love with Captain Underpants, because it was like, oh shit, kids are getting in trouble just like me, and they're drawing and making comics just like me. I see a lot of myself in George and Harold, you know? Shouts out Dave Pilkey. Shouts out Catman. Shouts out Dogman. Super Diaper Baby. If you know, you know. Yeah. So honestly, like, the library kind of became like a safe haven for a little bit, you know, because I would tell my mom, she'd be like, bro, where the fuck are you going? Like, you get out of school and stuff, like, what are you doing for the 3 hours before you have to go pick up your brothers? Or what the fuck are you doing after you drop off your brothers and stuff? And it's like, I'm literally at the library. You know, me and my brothers are at the library, and it took her a while for her to believe me because, you know, I'm doing bad shit. She's like, there's no way this nigga's at the library. And it's like, yeah, bro, like, from like 5th and 4th grade summer school, 6th grade I moved away, 7th grade and 8th grade I moved away. So yeah, like, high school, the majority of the time until like junior year when I started going to the neighborhood center. If you saw my video, you'd know. I literally just started like chilling at the library, bro. I was there all the time, and that's where my skate friends started to pull up, and we would skate to the library and skate to Sylvan and like just chill there, you know, and like just eating snacks, bro, reading books, fucking playing games, dog. So it was like, whenever I saw that one dude who was like on TikTok talking about like how everybody's bullying him for being a book reader or whatever, that shit hurt my heart, because he's not wrong. That shit kept me out of a lot of trouble, bro. Like, there was niggas who was doing more wild shit than I was, and the only reason why I wasn't doing that shit was because I decided to go to the library, bro. I just found out I liked playing games and I liked reading, and I also didn't like getting yelled at by my mom. So, you know, fuck it, I'm going to the library, dog. And my brothers could go, so it was easier. Like, when you're the oldest and you have to babysit the whole time, like, that sounds rude because I love my brothers, don't get me wrong, but like, when you have to like, you can't go do other things with your friends because you have to go pick up your little brothers from school. You want to find ways to incorporate them into whatever you're doing. And thankfully, my brothers were at that age too where it was cool. Now they were in all of these things now, and they made fucking DVDs with the library, dude. Like, movies, they're participating in the fucking water balloon fights, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's awesome. I'm so glad my brothers had to do that. I'm glad we all got to experience like being little nerds, you know what I mean? Because it's like, your child shouldn't have to grow up too fast, you know what I mean? And that's just where I'm gonna leave that, you know? Let kids be kids, you know what I mean? They're gonna do dumb shit, and that's part of the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I still do dumb shit, and I'm a grown-ass man, you know what I mean? But I'm learning. And then I learned not to do that shit again. Just like sticking a fork in the socket, you know? So before I get out of here, some of my favorite books, I'm just gonna rattle them off, you know? Solomon and the Silver Spoon, definitely top one, because that nigga is like an orphan, but he's like a rich orphan or something like that, and like his biological parents leave him literally like a silver spoon with like an emblem in it, and he goes on this like wild goose chase just trying to find his parents just because of this sigil that is etched into this fucking spoon. And I thought that was so crazy. Like, it just gets so chaotic. It was like, whoa, what the fuck? Jumpman. I know that sounds like a Jordan reference. Jumpman. But it's not. It's this dude goes to school, and then one day, randomly, some dude from the future just blips into his fucking room. This dude from the future has like this wild slang that like doesn't make a lot of fucking sense, and they give you the context clues to it and all this shit, and then they're trying to figure out how to get this nigga back home or whatever, and then like literally at the last second, like something else happens. Fucking, I'm gonna spoil it. Like a lady pops up, she's from the future as well, and everybody's like, "Bro, what the fuck is going on?" You know what I mean? And I never read the second one because this was when I interned at the Deer Park Library, and they didn't have the second one at that time. So I know it's probably out now, but I feel like I'm too far removed from it to where I might not really care about it. I think I tried to start it, but if it was like a little bit, it started off a little too different or something. Like something happened and I just never finished it. And I guess some mangas I'd say that you should check out. Probably Dogs. I really fuck with that. It's about basically like, if you ever seen Jet Li's Unleashed. Then you'd kind of get the concept. You know, people are just kind of like contracted as kids to like fucking beat up niggas, and they're controlled by collars. Yeah, that's it. So go check out your, local library, you know what I'm saying? Read a book, get a library card, you know what I'm saying? Get on the computers for free, you know what I'm saying? 30 minutes with the pass, 2 hours, 4 times a day with the card, you know what I'm saying? Membership. They might even have a royalty system now, you know? Like, it's 2025, baby. Everybody's got a point system. And I be fucking with it. THC stores that got a fucking loyalty system, I fuck with it. My drug dealers that got a loyalty system, I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here, baby. You know what I'm saying? I be getting fried and I be reading books, dog. I be outside in the field. I be touching grass. What you be touching? Don't answer that. Because I know what you niggas be doing. You niggas is nasty. Y'all be trifling. This is just kicking it.